Need new beats for your headphones? Check out eMusic. Over 2 million tracks. Log on and get 25. Head banging,
Roof raising,
speakers cracking, slow dancing,
hips grinding,
beats slamming,
treble tweaking,
tunes. That's 25 free MP3s.
Get it at
emusic.podshow.com.
Don't get mad. Get media. MadPod. Rare. Celebrity interviews. Indie music. MadPod.com. Your global audio internet connection. Coming up on MadPod.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Jay Donnelly, MadPod.com. And coming up this week, Savage Garden.
Pretty admirably actually, to walk away from the height of that fame and that success and the busyness that we had, and I loved what we did. But I had to think of the plan B. I wasn't just going to stop my life, and so I definitely started writing and started preparing for life after the band.
Don't get mad. Get media. MadPod.
Originally from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and joining us live coast to coast from London, England, singer-songwriter and founding member of the adult alternative pop rock duo Savage Garden, Darren Hayes. Welcome, Darren. A pleasure speaking with you, my friend.
Shadow, it's a very warm welcome and a pleasure to speak to you. Thanks.
Firstly, tell us about your latest project, the double CD, This Delicate Thing We've Made, on your new independent label, Powdered Sugar.
Well, it's really been a labor of love. It's taken me 3 years to make this record, and really it's my first release in the United States since 2002. So it's been a long time between drinks, and what can I tell you? It's a double record. It's essentially a concept album in that I play around with the idea that if we could go back in time and change the things that we messed up, what would we do differently? And it's a very personal record, and something that's taken a lot of heart and soul.
Darren, what's it like working solo?
I love it. For me, it's been almost a decade now since my time in Savage Garden, and I've made more records, I've spent more time alone, all of that stuff. So for me, I'm used to it. I understand from an audience point of view, though. There's always that, there's always that memory, I think, of where you began, and I guess I don't really differentiate between the two moments in my career. I consider myself to be a songwriter, and in the past I had someone in a band that I bounced things off, and these days I have other collaborators, I have other people in my life, and to me it's just been a natural growing up process.
This question can go either way. Is it a lot easier for you now, writing and creating, not having to collaborate with anyone else? After all, you get to make all the calls now, Darren.
Well, I don't think autonomy is a good thing, and I always try to replicate that feeling that I had in a band where I'm always bouncing off someone, because I think if you surround yourself with people who are always just telling you everything you come up with is good, you become average. You always need a producer. You need someone to edit you. You need someone to tell you, you know what, you might want to rethink that. As much as it hurts the ego, the real world is a hell of a lot more harsh on you than you will be. And I try to replicate that feeling in the business and in all the decisions that I make.
Darren, I guess the fans want to know if This Delicate Thing We've Made continues to be a different sound than that of Savage Garden.
I think so, but I think it's real easy to join the dots. Really, the minute I went solo, my sound became more electronic. But at the heart of it, I'm a singer, I think I have a very distinctive voice, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that's always remained. And the one thing that's identical in everything I've done is that these are stories that come from real experiences. I'm a storyteller, I'm a communicator. I relate very much to life experiences, and I want people that listen to my records to feel that these songs are things that they could have gone through as well.
I'm sure some listeners don't know you started recording your solo CD when you were technically still in Savage Garden. Was the plan to just stay together with Daniel and release solo albums, Darren?
No, I mean, at the time the band broke up, really, we had known, I guess, for a little while. It was Daniel's decision. It was the other person in the band who had decided, pretty admirably, actually, to walk away from the height of that fame and that success and the busyness that we had. And had he not made that decision, of course, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have been solo. I loved being in the band and I loved what we did. But I had to think of the plan B. I wasn't just going to stop my life, and so I definitely started writing and started preparing for life after the band.
Don't get mad. Get media. Mad Pod.
Live coast to coast from London with singer-songwriter and founding member of the adult alternative pop rock duo Savage Garden, Darren Hayes. Darren, let's rewind to a storybook music career, beginning with your debut single, I Want You, taken from your self-titled Columbia debut LP, issued March 1st, 1997, reaching number 4 on the Billboard Top 40, with an incredible 33-week chart run. How were you initially signed to Sony Music?
By accident. There is a gentleman by the name of Guy Zapolian, who at the time was a program director of radio station in the States. He's now a consultant. But Guy had come to Australia and he had heard our independent single on the radio there and loved it. And he brought it back to the States and I guess passed around, copies. He made copies of it and passed it around to DJs. And it kind of, I think we had top 10 airplay in the States without a record deal. And it was Clive Davis who flew Savage Garden to New York City, and we auditioned for Clive. And in that same meeting, in that same trip, it was the president of Columbia, Donnie Ienner, who also requested us to meet with him. And they kind of duked it out, and we loved Donnie, and we loved the label, and they signed us pretty much on the spot.
And the big follow-up single was one of my favorite songs of all time, To the Moon and Back, hitting number 37 pop on July 26, 1997 for the next 20 straight weeks and being reissued July 11, 1998 with yet another 13-week stretch. This should have been a number one record, Darren.
Yeah, well, we thought so. I think a pattern actually developed there with Columbia, God bless them, and I can say this because, most of the people I adore have now moved on from the label, but they were incredibly supportive when a song was happening. And, I think with Moon and Back, it was a song that needed to find its niche, and they kind of backed off, I think, on the promo, whereas in the UK, in Australia, that was a number one single. In Australia, it was our first number one single, and probably one of my biggest hits internationally. But I think the follow-up single, Truly, Madly, Deeply, was such a big hit that they figured they'd go back. Maybe they missed something and they'd go back and try it again, but I don't know if anything came as easily to them as I Want You or Truly, so I guess that one was always put in the too hard basket.
Darren, why the reissue the following summer here in the States? Did Columbia want another shot at the number one slot?
Yeah, I think very much they felt a competitive nature because the UK and Australia had success with To the Moon and Back, and I think, I think bless them, the label wanted to, replicate that. But in their defense, we were touring, we were really, our head was somewhere else at that point when they reissued the song. We were already working on our next record, and I think it did what it did.
Don't get mad. Get media. Mad